Hello everybody and welcome back to episode 2 of my Skyblock Let's Play. I am Son of Alistair and today we are probably going to get started on a mob farm later on in this episode. Yesterday we started off on the island here, ended up in the nether, which was highly unexpected, and pretty much had to figure out our way out of that situation. We did die once, lost a little bit of materials, but it wasn't nothing major since we had just started off. Other than that, I did set up a couple of crops here, as well as some sugarcane and another extra tree to get some wood going while we wait on some more grass and stuff to expand our platform out. This episode, we will be trying to branch off into the other islands here, at least a couple of them, just to get some different wood types so that way we could have those for building materials, because I do plan on making a mob farm later on in this episode, and that will probably be with wood, since I don't want to use cobblestone for everything. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and start farming up some cobblestone here and getting everything ready for the journey over to the other islands here. I'm going to go ahead and skip ahead. It'll be pretty much instant for you, but I'm going to branch to a couple of islands and we'll go ahead and get that wood started up and get our first tree farm. So give me a few moments. Okay guys, so I've branched off to one of the islands out here. It had a spruce tree on there. It also had some snow on there, but I didn't have a shovel on me and I had to put down a torch because it was nighttime, so I wasn't actually able to get as much snow that was here. So hopefully we'll be able to figure out a biome later, which I think this is a taiga biome. Yeah, so once we get everything like taken care of and we have more materials, we'll come back and we'll try to see if we can build a little higher up where the snow comes out. But what I wanted to come and tell you guys was, from my experience, I have decided that instead of hitting all of these down and trying to get materials that way, it's usually better to just let them decay themselves, because a lot of times you get more saplings just from letting it decay themselves rather than actually hitting them with your like hand or with any type of like block or something like that. So if you ever doing your own little sky block, just keep in mind that if you do let them decay on their own, you're usually like gonna get more saplings. Like this time I got 2 and there was like maybe only like 20 leaves all together. So if I would have hit those with my hands, I probably would have been lucky to get 1. But then again, that's all speculation. I could be wrong on that. I just noticed from my experience, and I've played a lot of Skyblock, that generally if I just leave the decay or the leaves to decay on their own, you do typically get more saplings and stuff like that as well. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, so far we have branched out to this island and over to the island that has the sand on there. We will need to build off of this platform to build underneath that island, so that way any of the sand that's on there just falls, because there isn't anything holding that island up. So as soon as we make a block change, that whole entire island will fall. So we want to make sure we're super cautious whenever we're doing that. So keep that in mind if you are following along with me. But I'm going to go ahead and get that platform down and get all of that stuff on that island, as well as try to get the tree farm started and get some of those resources going. But I will go ahead and be back with you and update you once we've got that taken care of. And one thing I actually discovered while starting to make another area for some extra trees is that the grass block will actually spread, even though it's 2 blocks high and it was right next to a grass block. But yeah, it went ahead and spread. So I always thought that it had to be within 1 block from a grass block, but apparently it can be more than 1. So that's also some good information to keep for future reference. Okay, so I believe this is our 3rd night, and we was having some phantom spawn. As you can see by my health, I had a couple problems with those. So I did have to block us in for the night. It's okay though, because this gives me a chance to farm up some more cobblestone. But yeah, just always keep in mind that if you do not use a bed for 3 nights in the new Minecraft for the 1.16 and up, there will be phantoms that spawn throughout the night, and I believe the longer that you stay awake, the more of them that spawn, and the more frequently you'll see them. So we may need to build a shelter as well until we can get a bed to uh, sleep at night. So just keep that in mind if you are following along. I just wanted to come back and let you know because I did almost actually die. You can see I'm at 2.5 hearts right now. But like I said, I got something built over me now, so they're not really bothering me. I can't even see them anymore. Oh, there they are. So as long as you stay here underneath the block and you don't crouch, usually they won't come at you. But as you can see where I just crouched at them, they did try to get aggressive. So keep in mind that if you do build a block above you like I did, you want to make sure that you're not crouching. Otherwise, they can still usually come at you. And I did put a half slab here in front of me so that way they weren't able to actually see me on all the sides. That is one trick that you could do if you're not able to get a shelter up in time. So just keep that in mind if you do play along with me, that you will have those spawning on you, especially with this map. So just be very careful. Hey guys, we're just giving you a little update while we're waiting through the nighttime. I am farming up some more cobblestone to make some slabs to make some railways for our bridges, so that way we do not fall off when we walk over to the other islands, as well as getting our trees and stuff up and going. We've already got a couple of them growing over here, and we have some more waiting to be grown. You can see I've already started over here where I'm getting a railway set up. This is all temporary. Also, keep in mind though, always make sure that you're building your area that you're gonna be building, or standing on, with slabs as much as possible. I understand that sometimes it won't be a good thing to put slabs if you're wanting to put torches in areas and stuff like that. Since you can't put those on slabs, it has to be an actual block. You're able to do full blocks and have the whole area lit up, that's fine as well. But when you're just starting off, slabs are probably going to be your best friend. Also keep in mind that you can put slabs on top of a base block, and that will also stop stuff from spawning. Another thing that you can do to keep mobs from spawning in the area, which a lot of people don't actually utilize because they don't realize it's a thing, but you can make buttons and put buttons on top of areas to stop mobs from spawning as well. And whenever you have a cobblestone generator like this going, one thing that I always like to do is put a chest behind it, because you can hold down your button and non-stop just keep on farming up cobblestone, and you don't really have to worry about breaking that box behind you, because by the time another one respawns, the animation goes away. So every time that you start hitting a box and breaking animation, it starts itself back over, so you don't actually technically break the box. Another thing that you can put behind there would be a slab of wood, but I wouldn't really recommend that, seeing as that will catch on fire. Or a grass block will also work, but that also catches on fire. Like you can see here, we have these flames. If we get too close to those flames, it will catch us on fire and we will lose quite a bit of health, which is not really that good right now, considering we don't have a sustainable food source. But pretty soon we will have some more melons growing here and some more wheat growing here. Then eventually we'll be able to make a composter with some slabs. Actually, let's go ahead and get one of those made right now. Don't want to use the warp planks. Hold on one second. I don't think I'll have enough, but let's see. Oh yeah, actually I should have enough. Make a composter real quick. What we can actually do with this composter here on the Skyblock is, and I will be using these slabs later, so it's not that big of a deal that I've made extra. What we will be doing with this composter here though is we can take this composter and set it down in an area. Then we can fill this up with extra farming materials that we get either from our farm here, or another thing that we can do is later on we can go out towards, I believe it's that island out there, and there will be, nope, it's that island out there. There will be a jungle tree that has a bunch of cocoa beans and seeds and stuff on top of it, or on the side of it. So we'll go and harvest some of those. We will set up a few, probably 3 tall jungle planks, and then we'll be able to grow those off of there. And those, you actually, every time that it's fully harvested, you get way more than you use to harvest or to plant them onto the tree itself. So those are a really good way to fill up this composter. Then every time that we fill this composter up, we will get one bone meal, just like you normally would in the vanilla Sky or Minecraft. But you also get 1 block of grass, which will come in very handy not only for tree farms, but that will also come in handy for a passive mob farm. This tree farm, I could have made it a little bit better than the way that I did it here, but I did kind of want to have a little bit of a square block just in case we're working in the area. We can have some passive mobs farm or spawn on top of this area here since there is grass. So that's why I did it like this. But another way that you could do this is because it's really good to have at least 2 to 3 spaces in between each one of your trees, because as you can see here, the leaves hang off at least 1 to 2 blocks over. So you want to make sure that you have room for each one of the trees to grow. So one thing that you could do is like build out your platform like you have it here. Then in certain areas, like let's say we want to have a grass block right here, we could get rid of this spot right here, put a grass block down, which I will just use a regular cobblestone block as an example, but we can put this here. Then this will be able to be planted with the tree on there. Those will not really have grass growing on them, considering you're going to have trees growing, and you're going to need grass blocks connected to that to be able to grow grass off of it. But this will be a really good way to use very minimal dirt when we're creating our tree farms here, as well as using as much space as possible to be able to get as many trees going. So in the future, I will be setting a dedicated area that will just be specific to trees growing in the area, and the majority of them will be set up like this here. But for right now, we're gonna have it just like a little strip landing here, so that way we can get like 8 trees growing or something at a time. But as far as this goes, this is what we're working with so far. I'm not sure or not if I will have time to get to the mob farm on this episode. We might just get to the point to where we have everything ready to start it on the next one. Ooh, nice, we got another tree growing. But as far as this goes right now, this is where we are at. I am taking a lot of these tree stumps that I am growing right now, and I am turning all of those into charcoal, so that way we have those to be able to smelt up some blocks and stuff if we decide to turn it into like some nicer stone or something to build with in the future. So while I'm doing all of this stuff, I'm trying to keep everything in mind for what we're going to run into in the next couple episodes coming up. So I'm going to try to get as much prepared as possible, and try to get to the point to where we're ready to build the mob farm. But just keep in mind, while you guys are doing this, if you're following along with me, whenever it becomes nighttime, you do want to make sure that you have some type of shelter built, because those phantom mobs that spawn at nighttime, they do hit really hard. And if you're playing on a hard setting like me, like I have my difficulty here on hard, those mobs can be very hard to kill, and they will kill you if they're given a chance to. So one good trick, like I said, is to always have these half slabs up here, because not only will mobs not spawn on top of them, but they will give you enough shelter to keep those mobs from hitting you. I have 2 separate areas to stand in. I can stand down here if I'm just wanting to AFK, or if I decided that I wanted to farm up some of the cobblestone, I also put some up here, so that way I can reach those as well as get to my crafting table, and if I come out, I can still reach my furnace. So these are just a couple of tricks that you can do if you're following along with me, but just keep in mind, sometimes you die, sometimes you lose all of your materials and have to start completely over. Don't get deterred if that does happen, because I mean, I've got, close to 2,000 hours in Skyblocks alone, and I have died several times. And a lot of times, you start off on Skyblocks and it's a lot harder than you expect it to be. And, you'll be sitting here, and 1 minute you think everything's fine, and then the next thing you know, you fall off with your bucket and all your materials, and you have to pretty much delete your save and start all the way back over. This is all a part of the game. But if this does happen to you, don't be deterred. Definitely start a new save and, try over. That's the only way to get better at stuff. But yeah, as far as that goes, this is where we're at so far. If you guys have any questions or, any comments as far as like what I'm doing or anything that we have planned for the future, definitely comment below. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get back to planting some of these trees up and farming up some more cobblestone to turn into slabs. Then next time I come back, we should have everything pretty much ready, at least to like continue farming wood and stuff like that until we're able to get the mob farm built. One more thing I did want to do this episode though is go over to the sand area, which is over there. Then I want to build a platform down below that. In order to do that, we will have to grab the bucket out of their chest here and fill that up with water, which we only have one water source right now, so I need to be super, super careful, as well as one bucket. So if we lose either of those, we're gonna be in big trouble, and it's gonna be very difficult for us to proceed any further at that rate. So I want to be very, very cautious. I'm gonna finish building all of the railways, so that way while I'm walking and transporting stuff, I won't lose anything, as well as bring a chest to put down to put all the materials in whenever I'm trying to build the platform underneath the island over there, because obviously, when working with water, there is always a chance to close off the main water source and fall back into the abyss. So yeah, just if you're ever working in that situation, just always be as cautious as possible. Keep in mind that stuff happens. I mean, always expect the worst. If you're doing something that that you have a chance of dying at, always be prepared and put your stuff away beforehand. But yeah, I'll get back to work and we'll see you here in a few seconds. Alright, so we've been sitting here for a few nights farming up a little bit of cobblestone, as well as some trees to be able to get our mob farm situated. I was able to build over to the platform over there where we had the cactus and the sand growing, and I was able to grow or put something underneath the platform to be able to harvest all the materials there. The cactus and the sand that we got from that, we will be using one of the cactuses to use in the trap to be able to kill the spiders, which I'll show you that later on once we get to that point. But for right now, I am just going to keep on farming wood until we have pretty much everything that we need, because we are going to be needing a lot of resources to make this farm, because it's not going to be just a normal mob farm. So as far as that goes, I am going to go ahead and end the video here. But tomorrow, whenever I start the video back up, I will probably be beginning with harvesting up a little bit more wood and getting that mob farm started. So I'm going to go ahead and end it here, and tomorrow we will get started on the mob farm, as well as I might get started on a passive mob farm as well. And we still need to go over there and get some stuff made from the jungle wood, so that way we can start harvesting the cocoa beans to be able to get more grass blocks to be able to set up a bigger passive farm. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end it off here, and I will see you guys next time.